Hey there, happy Friday. Welcome to this week's marketing training here at 2 p.m. sharp, 2 p.m. Eastern on this Friday afternoon, where we're talking about how to write an about page that gets clients to call you. Not just how to write an about page, but how do we write one that actually turns into clients. I'm really happy that you're joining me today. If you are joining me live, hopefully we're coming through okay. Usually I do just a quick double check, so let's do that. Um, Would hate to get all the way through this and realize you couldn't see me. Just a quick, here we are. Okay, wonderful. If you can see me and hear me okay, would you just give me a like of some kind, react to the video or something just to make sure I'm coming through okay. It's loading correctly, but you never know. Awesome. Thank you for that. Thanks for joining me. If you're joining me live, please do say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're joining from. And please know that I want this to be as useful for you as possible, which means that I want your questions, thoughts, feedback on this process so that hopefully by the end of this training, you feel a lot better about what to write on your about page in order to get some clients from it. So this is meant to be an interactive session. If you are catching the replay, that's a-okay. I promise you'll still get some awesome value. Drop a hashtag replay into the comments, and that will make sure whether you're watching this afternoon or a year from now, that I can come back and see any questions you may have. So hi, Pamela from New York, wonderful. Lori from Florida, excellent. Really happy that you've decided to join me. One more thing before we get started, I need to introduce myself. We have a lot of new faces here inside the group. We're actually almost 7,000 clinicians strong here. My name's Anna. I'm really happy you're here. I get to lead this community. I myself am a web and marketing strategist, and I work exclusively with therapists and counselors. So when we talk about niching in this group, guess what? You're my niche. And I have helped over 700 clinicians grow their practices, market themselves, and really everything that we do here is about helping you not only be effective in your marketing, because hello, I want you to get results, but also authentic. On your journey to becoming a full fee premium level practice, I want you to feel really good about what you've done and how you're putting yourself out there. So everything I do is helping you be true to you in your marketing. So really happy you're here. Excellent. We have Illinois, Washington, Austin, Texas. Great. Thanks for being here. Now let's dive in to how to write an about page that gets clients to call you. Now, I want to make sure we're all operating from a basic understanding of the about page. It's really important to know that every page of your website has a job to do. Your homepage needs to immediately connect and let someone know that they're in the right place and get them to the information that's most important to them. That's what the homepage needs to do. Your specialty pages need to get super specific about that challenge or that problem that you help solve and what exactly that ideal client is facing and how you can help address that. Now, what about your about page? Your about page is really interesting, and a lot of folks don't realize that it's as important as it is. A lot of times your about page will be the second most visited page after your homepage. So lots of eyeballs on this page, and it's not enough to just throw up like where you went to school, how many years you've been in practice, and what you like to do on the weekends. Like that is not what's going to actually compel someone to reach out to you. So let's review the job of the about page. The job of the about page is number one, to show clients that they're in the right place. Chances are they didn't get here directly. We can guess with a good amount of certainty that someone's here because you've connected with them in another way. Maybe they did land on your homepage and they're like, oh wow, Anna seems kind of compelling. I'm gonna go learn more about her. Or I heard about Anna, and so I typed her name into Google and this page showed up first. Chances are someone's coming in here with some level of connection to you. So we want to immediately say, hey, you're still in the right place and form a little bit of connection. We also need to provide a sense of what it's like to work with you. This page is a really great opportunity to talk about the environment you create. We know that you do a great job of building relationships with your clients. They don't know how you do that. This is your opportunity to share that and to put that into words. The nice thing about marketing therapy, and this is coming from someone who helps therapists market themselves, is that when someone lands here, they're pretty ready to go to therapy, right? They're on this website because they're pretty sure they're ready to step into that. And so we get to set those expectations about what that's going to look like and calm any of the fears or concerns they might have about it. So that's what your about page can do. The other thing that your about page and the other job of the about page, and this is so huge, is that this is your opportunity to communicate what sets you apart. Studies show us that people are going to visit between 5 and 7 different therapy websites before deciding who to work with. You're not the only about page that they're reading. And there are other clinicians around you that do wonderful work and that can help this client. But why are you the best person to serve them? What do you offer that maybe those other clinicians don't? What do you bring into the therapy room that they value and can connect to? This is your opportunity to share that. So this is all about sharing about you, right? It's called your about page, but it's about sharing about you through the lens of what's important to your client. So we have to write with that client in mind. This isn't the Anna show. This is the what do therapists need to know from Anna show when it comes to the about page that I write. In your shoes, you need to be writing to the client that you want to be attracting and accomplishing these goals. So again, let's review the job of your about page. 1, show clients they're in the right place. 2, provide a sense of what it's like to work with you. And 3, communicate what sets you apart. Whatever it is that they value in a therapist, how can you align to that? And what do you bring into the therapy room and this relationship that they're looking for? So let's talk about how to write this page, right? You came here wanting to know, how do I write an about page that gets clients to call me? First and foremost, remind clients that you understand them. You're going to start your about page by talking about your clients, not about you. A really good sort of rule of thumb, and it's not to say that I haven't written copy for clients that starts with the word I on the about page, but chances are your about page isn't going to start with the word I. It actually should start with you. We want to talk to the client and remind them that you understand them by painting a little bit of the picture of what's brought them here. In all of the frameworks that I teach when it comes to copywriting, we talk about empathy. So we're going to exhibit a little bit of empathy here. We're going to talk about, hey, are you tired of feeling disconnected from your partner and walking on eggshells, wondering when the next shoe is going to drop or when the next blow up is going to happen? You've come to the right place, and then you can start talking about yourself. Can you see how I formed that connection? Remember, the very first job of the about page is to let clients know they're in the right place. One of the easiest ways to do that is to empathize with them and to show them, hey, I understand you and you're in the right place, to actually say that and communicate it with your copy. So start by talking about your client. This, usually I recommend like 3 to 4 sentences maybe, where you just paint a little bit of a word picture of what's going on here. Why are they on this about page? Why are they interested in pursuing therapy? Show them that you understand them by stating those things. And then you can bridge and start talking about yourself by letting them know, hey, I see you. And you've come to the right place. This is the place for you. So that's a huge game changer. When I load up, I've reviewed now hundreds of different therapy websites. When I load up an about page and it's just, hello, I've been in practice for 20 years. I have a PhD from XYZ, all these things, like, we're missing out on an opportunity to form connection. And this is where someone is coming to figure out if you're actually who they want to work with, right? So how can we form that connection? By exhibiting some empathy. So that's the first thing. After we do that, then I want you to start setting some expectations about what it's like to work with you. Maybe your client's been to therapy before and you do something a little bit differently. So think about, what did they experience in therapy before and what do I do that might be a little bit different? Or maybe your client has never been to therapy before and they have no idea what to expect. Talk them through what to expect. Talk them through your process. What's it like to be in the therapy room with you? Are you a super goal-oriented, solutions-focused, CBT style, direct, do homework kind of person? Are you a psychodynamic person who's going to help them look back? Are you focused on deep insight? What do you do with your clients, and how does that work look on a week-to-week basis? What environment can they expect inside of the therapy room? Start setting some expectations about what it's like to work with you, because if we're going to get them to call you from this page, they have to understand what they're getting themselves into, and they have to be compelled to want it. So talk about what therapy with you is like. So few therapists talk about what therapy is like. They just expect their clients to know. You can form so much connection and build so much trust and rapport pre even talking to them, before they even pick up the phone, if you just talk about what this is like. There's a barrier that everyone has to cross when it comes to reaching out to a therapist, and this is just important to know in all of your marketing. There's a barrier that someone has to cross. We want, with your marketing, to lower that barrier as much as possible, and oftentimes one of those barriers is, I don't know what to expect. This feels scary. If we can let them know what to expect, if we can qualm those fears a little bit, we lower the barrier and we make it easier to reach out to you. Not to mention, you feel so much more relatable because you're talking about it. You're not expecting them to know what therapy is like. You're saying, hey, this is exactly what you can expect. This is what the environment is. This is the space I strive to create. So talk about what it's like to work with you. They're on a therapist's about page to know what therapy with that therapist is like, right? So talk about that. Then talk about why clients trust you. This is one of the more difficult sections I've found in the folks that I have coached on this, because you have to start putting into words why you're really freaking amazing at your job. I've yet to sit down with a clinician who isn't awesome at what they do, but a lot of times they don't know how to articulate that. And so one of the best prompts to think about when it comes to talking about why clients can trust you is thinking about my clients describe me as XYZ. And maybe those are exact, things that you've heard from clients or things that maybe a supervisor has told you, but what do you bring into the room? What is your style? This is a place, if you're comfortable with self-disclosing in any regard, sharing a little bit about your story or what's brought you here. This is your opportunity if you are and I believe that you're all passionate, but if you have a deep passion for your specialty for a specific reason, tell them that. This is your time to talk about why they can trust you. So think about the journey we've created so far. We've connected to their problems and said, hey, you're in the right place. We've talked about what therapy with you is like. Now they're like, okay, I'm understanding this. Now, cultivate that trust by letting them know what gets your butt in the seat every single week. Because it's not just your job title, right? It's because you have a passion and a drive to do this. Maybe it's just a deep curiosity and a deep care and compassion for your clients. Put that into words. A lot of times what I'll hear from clients when it comes to writing this section of their about page is, yeah, but every therapist is like this, right? Hopefully every therapist is ethical and cares about their clients. Do you know how few of them actually say that though? How powerful would it be if you just put into words what drives you? That is an awesome opportunity to form connection. So talk about why clients trust you. And then on this about page, please invite them to take the next step. A lot of times I will load up an about page and it's like they forgot that the button exists and there's no opportunity to take that next step. The goal is that through this journey we've just taken them on, they're like, yeah, Anna sounds like the therapist I want to reach out to. Give them that opportunity. Invite them into the next step. A lot of times when I suggest this to clinicians, they're like, oh, well, I don't want to be pushy. You're offering help to them. You're offering the space you create. You're offering the passion and the drive, right? All you're saying is, hey, reach out. If you're ready, here's the button. But make it easy. If wherever someone is on your website, this is not just your about page, but anywhere on your website, if they decide that you're the therapist for them, I want them to not have to scroll another minute to take action. Let's not lose out on any of that momentum. Make it easy to get in touch with you from this page. That is so, so, so critical. So friends, these are the 4 pieces of a successful about page. The about page where literally I have had clients and folks that have gone through my programs get on phone calls and be told your website spoke directly to me. I already know you're the therapist I want to work with. You gave me hope that relief is possible. And it's the about page copy that really, really set them apart and communicated what got them in the room and what that person could expect. This is a huge opportunity in your marketing. This is a huge opportunity in your marketing to form connection and trust. And both of those things are critical if someone is going to decide to reach out to you. A couple other things you can consider adding to your about page. I love sometimes writing or encouraging clients to write a guiding principles or a core values section of their website. If you find that there are some core values, maybe you've articulated them before and maybe you haven't, but if you have some really foundational philosophies that guide your work, or if there are some core values to the way that you do therapy, share those. Again, a really, really wonderful way to form connection with your clients and to make you seem invested just like they are. Another thing to add on this about page is your methods. If you are trained in specific modalities, especially ones that clients come to you looking for, EMDR, CBT, IFS, EFT, anything that you, if you have a modality that people are like, I'm looking for a clinician that does this, use this page as an opportunity to share about that. So what does EMDR mean? What does it mean to be an IFS therapist? What does EFT include? So definitely don't shy away from the clinical talk on this page, but what's going to be really important is that anything clinical is followed up by an easy to understand description. So when I coach clients in my program Confident Copy around this section specifically, we'll name the method, CBT, EFT, EMDR, whatever. And then we'll offer a short description that's in totally client-friendly language. So a good prompt to think about is, okay, if I want to share about EMDR, then I need to put into words what I would tell a client EMDR is. So stay away from all the clinical jargon, put that to the side, right? This is client-friendly language about what is EMDR and why is it valuable to the client. So please don't shy away, like I said, from clinical language here, especially if it's something that people are looking for, but make sure that the way that you're presenting it and describing it is something that's easy to understand. This is a really important thing to keep in mind for all of your website, but definitely your About page, is that anytime you use clinical language and don't follow it up with client-friendly language, something that's easy to understand, you risk appearing intimidating. And that's the last thing we want to be, right? We're not going to form trust or connection if we're intimidating. So just like rattling off all the things that you're trained in doesn't actually make you look authoritative or like an expert. It actually just makes you look a little bit intimidating to the person that doesn't understand those things. It makes them feel like, well, I don't know what those things are yet, so maybe I'm not in the right place. Maybe I'm not ready for this. Instead, I'm trained in EFT and I take a psychodynamic approach to therapy. This means that XYZ. So anytime you want to share something clinical about your approach or your training, make sure that you're also offering an explanation that is easy to understand. All right, those are the core sections that I recommend for a good About page. If you're watching this, we have some great folks watching. If you have any questions about this, like I said, please don't hesitate to drop those into the comments because I would love to address any questions you may have. One thing that I often get asked around this is this idea of self-disclosure. Do I have to self-disclose on my website? No, the answer is always going to be no, you don't have to. If you're considering how much or what part of your story to potentially disclose, there's 3 questions I always coach my clients through, and I want to share those with you if it's something you're walking through. So when it comes to what you're going to share about yourself on your website, question number 1. Am I comfortable sharing with this? Am I comfortable sharing with this? If the answer is no, great. Don't have to do it. Self-disclosure is never, ever, ever necessary in your marketing. If the answer is yes, I am comfortable sharing this, great. Next question, is this valuable to my client? If the answer is no, like they wouldn't connect to this for any reason, then let's, put it aside, not something that we need. If it is valuable, if you specialize, if your niche is in postpartum and serving moms, and you yourself are a mom, chances are you being a mom is really valuable to your client, so we would say yes. The final question when it comes to deciding what to share, is this important to share at this point on my client's journey with me? There are most likely, if you disclose at all in your therapeutic relationship, things that you don't share until later in the therapeutic process, for whatever reason. There are things that mean a lot to clients, but only after you've formed that relationship. So ask yourself, is it important to them now, before they've ever met me, before we've entered into a relationship, or is this something that might be better shared later? A good example is a client of mine, a student of mine that specializes in religious trauma. She has an experience kind of with deconstruction around faith and that sort of thing, but she found that usually that was something she didn't share until later. And something that she would kind of start to share a little bit as she worked through this with her clients. So she chose not to talk about it on her website and in her marketing because it was actually more meaningful later on in the journey that client had with her. So if you're deciding what to self-disclose, ask yourself, is this important now before they reach out to me? Or is this something that's better shared later? So I just wanted to share those kind of as a little bonus as far as questions to ask. Any questions for me? Let's see. Make sure they're... I'm not seeing any, although sometimes Facebook is weird. I'm going to give this a quick refresh just in case there are some questions around this. The fact is, as we're going through this, that your words matter so much in your marketing. Like your words, if you can get those right, on your website and in your marketing, you will form the connection that you're looking for. You will get those phone calls that you're the therapist I want to work with. You will hear from people that you spoke right to them in your marketing. And that makes all the rest of your marketing so much easier, right? If you can just get those words right. If you struggle to get those words right, please know you're not alone. This is much different writing than what you did inside of, grad school classes. I recognize that. And I want to support you in that. And there is support for you. Inside of my program, Confident Copy, I will walk you through how to articulate every single thing we've talked about here. I will walk you through how to articulate your niche and what it is that you specialize in. What to write on that homepage where we're going to form connection and get them into your website. I'm going to walk you through every single section that I've talked about in this training for your About page. What to do on your specialty pages. How to make sure all of this is SEO and Google friendly. I take you through that step by step. And if you're wondering if maybe that is what your practice needs, I offer a free fit session. So Confident Copy fit sessions are your opportunity to get on the phone with me, to share about where you are in your practice, and for me to let you know if Confident Copy can serve you. Sometimes it's not the right fit for you, and I will always be 100% honest with you, but it's an opportunity for you to make sure that this program can get you where you want to go. And if it can't, and if I don't think that it's the right thing for you, I will always direct you to a different resource that I think can. Because I know you do amazing work. Your About page is your opportunity to share that. And if Confident Copy is able to fill the gap and able to help you put those things into words and get it into action so that you can find those clients and they can connect to you, then I would love to be able to come alongside you inside of that. Okay, Christine, what if you work with individuals and couples? How do you phrase that on the first part? Good question, Christine. I actually just worked on a website this week for a clinician who does both individual and couples relationship therapy. And so what she did, and there are lots of different approaches to this, and inside of Confident Copy, I always offer a couple examples of sort of how to accomplish each of these things. But this clinician specifically that I'm thinking about, she asked, I think, 3 questions at the top of her About page, and one of them was focused on couples. One of them was focused on individuals, and then one of them was a question that either of them could relate to. Anytime in your marketing, and we talk about this inside of Confident Copy, anytime in your marketing you serve 2 groups that are a little bit sort of disparate, individuals, couples, or like teens who have parents and young adults who are paying themselves, we want to offer an example in your marketing where at least one example where each person can connect to it. So that would be maybe a good thing to think about, like one for individuals, one for couples, and then one that resonates with both of them. I hope that's helpful, Christine. Lori, examples of what to share now. I'm not sure, Lori, sorry if you asked that at a specific point. I'm not sure if I know exactly what you're referring to. If you're still on, feel free to clarify that a little bit, because I love examples and I would love to share with you. While I've got you, I would love to, Christine, share the copy from that client I was talking about, just to give you a real life example. And she used my frameworks to write her copy as well. Let me bounce on over there. Self-disclosure, examples of what to share now. Oh, sure, Lori. So again, this comes down to the level of, this comes down to what your clients would value about what you share. And so, what you do on the weekends and, how many dogs you have, like, probably doesn't matter to your client, but this comes down to, like, your client best. If your client is looking for someone who's like a real person and just does want to know that sort of thing, or you find that might be useful, then share it. Oftentimes self-disclosure in your marketing comes down to sort of like what's brought you to this work specifically. And so usually it's niche specific. Like I mentioned, if you do postpartum or motherhood, maybe you share that you're a mom. A past Confident Copy student specialized in supporting parents of LGBTQ plus teens because she herself had a transgender child. And so that was something that she felt comfortable sharing. Again, wasn't critical, but she knew that was something that really formed a powerful connection with people, and it started to establish a little bit of that trust. And so oftentimes self-disclosure, the most effective self-disclosure in marketing, is related to your niche and making you, like, communicating your expertise in those areas at an even deeper level due to your own lived experience. Another example, like I've worked with therapists that specialize in chronic illness. They'll often share if they themselves, live with a chronic illness, because sometimes it's just nice to know that someone's been through it. Um, Christine, let me pull up that example for you. I hope that was helpful, Lori. If you have follow-ups, don't hesitate to drop them in. Let's look now. Okay, the 3 questions she asked. Tired of bringing the same issues up to your partner, knowing inevitably nothing will change? Feel like you're walking on eggshells, waiting for your partner to tell you yet again how you disappointed them? Wish you had the tools to bring connection and that spark back to your relationship. So none of those are like completely couples focused or completely individual focused, but what she tried to do was accomplish both of those things, where that individual would be like, yes, that is me, or the couple would be like, yeah, that's what's going on for us. So I hope that's helpful. Wonderful. Any other questions I can help answer, feel free to drop them in. I will be available and answering questions in the comments for the rest of the day. And if you're watching this a year from now, you're always welcome to still drop comments in it. Like I said, just drop that hashtag replay. If you're wondering about Confident Copy and you want to know if this is right for you, I will also drop a link to the Confident Copy Fit session into the comments. This is your opportunity to get my support in your marketing and to do it inside of a community that's doing this work along with you. I just continue to be so impressed by what people develop inside of this program and the way they support one another. You get access not just to my brain, but to the brains of a bunch of other talented clinicians. And you can bring these things to life, and you can get those phone calls and those clients that are looking for someone like you and for someone who does the type of work the way you do it. And your About page is your opportunity to share that. So thanks so much for being here. This has been really wonderful just getting to jump on for a marketing training. It's been a couple of weeks. I appreciate each of you. I'm so thrilled to be part of this community, and I'll see you next time.